See, I always say keep your pet on leash. Your pride, your ego, temptation. Always have these three things on leash, because if you're a proud person, you're never going to learn from other people. If you have ego, you think you're the best, and then you're going to look at other people doing things, and temptation is a problem. The last 11 years, I was bankrupt twice, sued 22 times, and now I'm the biggest operator for water parks in the world. It's a short summary. In the last year, I lost 25 kilos.
You lost, sorry, how much?
Last year, I lost 25 kilos.
25 kilos? Why did you lose 25?
Nicer. It's nicer.
To be more healthy.
Absolutely, that's the idea.
That's good. And tell me more about why you decided to, sort of found and run AquaFun. Like, what was the initial idea behind it? Tell me more about your entrepreneurial journey, but give me a bit of insight into
why
that.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Why not have the biggest water park in the world?
Yeah.
So we started with a small water park, failed, second water park, failed, and then continued going. Now we have 34 parks around the world, between UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Oman, Seychelles, and Maldives. The idea was like, how do we create something for the kids and the families to do on the beach? And that was the first idea that came through. We did it. And the best thing about it also, it's a workout. It's actually a workout on the water park.
What do you mean by workout?
So usually an hour on the water park will burn 700 to 1300 calories. An hour on the water park, because you move lower body, core, upper body, and you're under the sun, vitamin D, so it's a lot of fun.
What are sort of the challenges when you decided to do this? Considering that we're living in the Gulf region where it's sometimes very, very, very hot.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
So many challenges from first, how do you rent the water? What do you mean you want to rent the space in the water? The first legal part, and then how do you set up the stuff in the water and take care of all the marine life and the safety of the people? And then, as you say, summer is too hot, so what do you do in the summer? So we had to tackle each one of them. So have to convince the government why we should rent the water, how you do it, and then in the summer what I do, because it's inflatable, we can just deflate it, roll it, and take it to another country. Like we go to North Egypt, we go where the weather is nice, so we follow the weather. So that's how we tackle some of those problems. But there's always something happening, always.
Tell me more about that.
Oh, trust me,
Are you able to disclose a couple of not controversial but a little interesting stories?
I have 1,000 customers a day, in general.
It must be a headache getting
a lot
complaints
of headache. But we managed to do 4.9 stars with 4,000 reviews on social media and Google. So I think having the right system and the right people is a very important thing. That's why I'm here. I've hired the right people, put the right systems, and now we can scale faster. But customers, I don't believe the customer is right.
You don't? They always say the customers are always right, but
some customers are crazy. A lot, actually, yeah.
I mean, you can't argue. You can't really argue with a lot of customers.
No, I do. I do. I'm the owner. I can do it.
Do you recommend for entrepreneurs and founders such as yourself to defy, clients or?
I have because again, like if I've made a big board and says what is for you, what for us, and you've signed a waiver, and then you come and say, I want other things. Like, well, you've signed a waiver for that. That's it. Yeah. And then they come out, the customer will go in for 2 hours and come out, you're gonna scratch, I want a refund. It's like, dude, you were 2 hours in the water park. What refund? So that kind of mentality. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing it comes a lot with the headaches and responsibility.
That's why I have no hair. It's gone.
But I guess it comes with the big response. But you're doing, I mean, based on how AquaFun is doing, I mean, you're doing something right, not something wrong. So it's working.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me more about, the role of discipline, self-belief, and overcoming failure in achieving success. Like, tell me more about that.
I don't believe that you can be motivated all the time, but discipline is everything. Like, there was a phase that I did 57 months of not a single day off. And the only way I managed to do it is disciplines that I have to get this job done. So that's a very important part. I think being in fitness and being fit all the time, that kept me disciplined. Because putting yourself in actual physical pain makes your mental clarity stronger. So I think that's a very important part in everything.
And what are sort of some tips that you can give for, budding entrepreneurs or people who really want to, start achieve a successful business or a business as it is?
You have to check your ego and pride in the door. Because
I think ego is very, very important to...
See, I always say keep your pet on leash. Your pride, your ego, temptation. Always have these three things on leash, because if you're a proud person, you're never going to learn from other people. If you have ego, you think you're the best, and then you're going to look at other people doing things, and temptation is a problem. If you're a person, you're going to make some money and immediately go buy yourself an expensive car or expensive thing because you want to look at this way, you will never succeed.
And some people really want to jump the ladder and just be very successful.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, what do you... Of course, it's not an option at all. Like, they have to wait.
It's far from true.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine a hockey stick. There's nothing, and then eventually hits in. Like, I was doing nothing for the first 4.5, 5 years, and then eventually kicked in, and then 5 figures, 6 figures, 8 figures. But it takes time, and that only happens because of you being consistent and disciplined. It's not as people think they're going to open a business and within the first year they're going to be millionaires. No, it's not going to happen.
So so this is a very light question. What do you do when you have a bad day? Do you ever have a bad day?
It's a bad day.
It's a bad day.
It's a bad day then.
Yeah.
It's not a bad life, it's just a bad moment. I had a bad moment that day. Now you have to figure out your perspective. What am I learning from this mistake? What am I gaining from this? What's the macro? Zoom out. I always say zoom out when you have a problem. Get out of your emotional detachment for this problem and see what's the bigger picture. And
what does success mean to you?
I think it's peace for me. Because success, again, people think it's money, it's cars, it's watches. It's none of these things. Because I've had that and never had it and got again. I think it's just enjoying what you do with the people you love doing it with. And just having love and family and health is more important than everything else.
I just want to keep the floor open if anybody has any questions for you. So does anybody have any questions for Ahmed? Sure. What's your question?
There's one there.
Can you tell us more about your carnivore diet?
Carnivore diet, okay. So I changed my lifestyle, I think, earlier this first beginning of the year. I stopped having sugar and carbs. I only eat meat. So I only have literally ribeye, lamb chops, eggs, seafood, butter, and cheese, and water, a lot of water. And I lost 24 kilos with that. That's how it is, I think. Mental clarity is higher, physical power is much higher, my face is glowing, my energy is much higher, I sleep much better than before. I used to have sleep apnea is gone, pre-diabetic gone, migraines gone, so yeah.
As a business owner, you really do have to take care of your body and mind.
Because I have a very active mind, I have ADHD and dyslexic, so it's a very powerful mind. So I have to have a very strong vehicle to carry it.
So it proves that anyone can do anything no matter what they have.
If I do it, then you can do it. So yeah, simple. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your question. Then anybody have...
There's one there. I see her. The funds, the money, sales, pure sales. Yes, sales. I got a different product, and I pushed my sales towards that, and I made the money from that. So again, in the beginning, I tried to find investors and try to get to the bank and all the stuff. Nobody says yes, because who are you? You have no experience. You know nothing about this. Okay, so I find a product alongside what I do, and I start pushing that sales. And I made some money from that. Opened the first water park, failed miserably. Opened a second one, failed even worse. Became in debt, and then for the next 3.5 years, I was literally paying debts. So I was under the zero. And then eventually I got the right team, I got the advisor, the right lawyer, the accountant, and then we figured out how to become much better in sales. And I understood that I am in the business of creating happy memories. So I was selling the emotion, not the product. And that's when it became the biggest one in the world.
You know, I just want to add something. I think it's important to mention failures rather than success, because a lot of people don't mention their failures.
I'm big on that.
And they just mention what they're doing well.
I always talk about how much I failed. Yeah, I enjoy talking about that. But again, that's the part of success. Because again, you need to be only once or twice right, and that's it. It's done. But the issue is like, if I tell you you have 25 more no's for you to make $1 million, you're gonna be running fast to get more no's. But most people are afraid from the emotion of a no because it's scary. Because you've been programmed in school that no is bad, you lose marks. But in reality, that's the only way to become successful.
That's very true. Yeah. I think we're running out of time. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for your time.
I am barbecued here.
We're all gonna get some color today.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.